Hello, everyone. So today we're going to talk about theorems, and we're going to continue with our document that we still have here. Okay, so theorems. In order to use these theorems, we're going to require a package, again by AMS, that is American Mathematics Society. Let me just start another line here. So AMS theorem. So that is the package that we require. Or we have two types of theorem styles. So there's a command called theorem style that we use to specify the kind of style that we need. We have definition, and we also have plain. So we're going to use both. So for the first one is usually used for definition. So I'm going to have a new theorem. Okay. So this new theorem is going to be an environment and, definition. So the first one is definition, and the environment name will be defn because I don't want to write a lot. Then what will appear will be definition, and we're going to number within a section. Okay, so let's move to the theorem style plane. Here we're going to define a new theorem. Okay, so the numbering is going to follow definition. You will see the difference when we do not follow a certain theorem. So this one is going to be theorem, THM for theorem. And we're going to have theorem. And just one more, new theorem. Say lemma, can call lemma, going to follow the same numbering, and then we have lemma. So you note that the first one that defines the kind of numbering that we're going to have is at the end, but the other ones that follow the first one are at the middle. So you have to note that. So how do we use this? We use them just the way we use environments, but now this will be the environment name. Defn, theorem, and lemma. So let's note the difference. So where? Here, in the first section, begin, definition, and whenever you begin something, you must end it. So what are we defining? Let's suppose we're defining something. So we have the option of including something that you're defining, actually. So suppose we want to define something, and this is the definition. So that's my definition of something. Assume that is my definition of something. And then here we're going to have begin. theorem and theorem. So suppose that G be a group and H less than or equal to G be a subgroup of G. That's repetition. And then order of H, so that's math, divides order of G. Okay, so that's an example of a theorem. And the theorem is usually followed by a proof. You can include the proof here or outside. Begin. There's an environment already defined in Am's theorem called the proof. This is the proof. Follow. So we have a theorem, we have a proof. Something else that we mentioned was a lemma. Copy. So we also have the kind of option here. We can call it a Lagrange. So that's due to Lagrange. So here we can call it lem now. So you see that the only difference is the title. We can still call it Lagrange. You don't have to, this is usually optional. This part is optional. You can leave it the way it is, like we can leave this one. That is a comment, meaning this one is not seen. So let's try and check what we obtain here. Remember, I set it to run twice previously. Okay, so this is what we have now. So this is the first definition of something. So you can see that this is included here in the parentheses. So this is not the definition. So this is now the definition, and this is what we are defining. Theorem, you can see the numbering is following this one. So this is 1.1.1. This numbering is dependent on this one, and this one is also dependent on all the others. So as we continue numbering, it will all be continuous. Okay, so if we do not include that, so and you can see the difference of definition style. This is just upright, the text is upright, and this one, the text is not upright. So you can see this one is italics for plain, and for definition, it's upright. So let's see when the numbering is not following anything. So let's suppose we define each independently. So remove that, remove that. Now, suppose we do that, what will happen? How will the numbering be? And suppose we add this, how will the numbering be? So this simply says that numbering is done within section. And when we remove that, then the numbering will not be done within section. Sorry. Okay, so let's see with the theorem first. within section and without using section for lemma. And let's see what we have. Okay, so you can see this is lemma 1. So it's not following section. And now you can see this one is 1.1.1 and this one is 1.1.1. So theorem will have its own numbering and definition will have its own numbering. But for uniformity, it's usually nice to number all of them so that they are continuous. So we can go back to them being numbered as per the definition. Okay, so something else I wanted to mention is label, cross-referencing. So you may just refer to a certain theorem or a certain lemma or a certain table or a certain figure within the same document without having to look at the number and then writing it manually. So that will be cross-referencing. So for instance, we have, let's start with theorems and definitions if possible. So what we have a command called label. So we must label and another command that will be for referring now to that label. So this is a definition. I can use that to just differentiate what I'm referring to. So this is a definition of something. So I can say something because we are defining something. So this will ensure that I do not forget the label that I set. And something like this label, this is theorem, so I'm using that. And then, because I don't want to forget, and I know the name of a person who came up with the theorem, so I can use it so that whenever I refer to that theorem, I remember that that theorem is by Lagrange, and therefore we're going to, it's not going to be confusing. So this theorem is going to be Lagrange. Yeah. And now here, even with inside a different chapter here, I may refer to the sum theorem, you can say, by theorem. Use that tilde. There's this tilde usually before one. You press shift and then that key before one. This will ensure that this theorem and that number are not separated. So that's just a formatting thing. Ref is what we, and you can see we have referenced, we have two labels and this one are appearing here. So I can just press that by theorem that we have so and so. Okay, so that referencing, when we run it, you will see this is 1.1.2 because we have done numbering based on definition. So, okay. Okay, so we have theorem 1.1.2. Very interesting. So this refers to that theorem. We can use hyperref package so that whatever we have is like a link, it's clickable. Hyperref, I think. Oops. Paragraph ended without something is wrong. Um, so use package hyperref. What's the problem? Spelling or something. So as you can see, we have this kind of this one. So that means you can click on this and then it will take you to the same thing. So the color links will take you to chapter 1, something like that. And the theorem, you click on it, it will take you to the theorem. So that's the use of that. You can change this color links equals true. Let's see what we have. Now we just have colors, but no that a square or a block. So you just click on it and it will take you to that specific item. Okay, so we can use the same for, let's see this. So when you click on this, it will take you to the theorem that we want. So we can use the same cross-referencing for tables and figures. So for instance, this table here, Manchester United, and you can only use it when you have used the caption. So I'm going to say label tab, because the table, Man United. So I do not forget that. For figures, with the first figure here, label fig Python. So I can just come here also looking at table, the same thing, reference, tab is there, and figure, sorry, ref fig Python, we blah blah blah. Okay, so that, I think that will suffice as an example. Let's see what we have when we run it. So at first you will see this. I don't know why, because I've set PDF LaTeX to run twice. Let me just unset so that it doesn't take much of our time. Oh, it's not set. Suppose I set it. I think this is the one that I set it. Let me just reset PDF tech to run twice and then view PDF. Okay. Okay. So to validate that, so we need to add something here. Which other thing do we have? our first table. So let me use our first table, which is this one. So remember, label comes immediately after caption and before end of table. So this is a tab, and this is our first table. Okay, so I can refer to it here. And this was our first table. Tab, first table. So I expect it to appear immediately without the question marks. Let's see, we have it. So it has run once, now it's running the second time. And it's done, and you can see it did not show question mark at the first time. So you click on it and it will show you the table. This table is already here. Tab 1.1 is here. So that's how cross-referencing works. So that will be it for now. See you next time. Thank you.